Hello, my name is McKellar and this is my project and I called it Impermanence Collision. I'm Ethan McKellar and I'm a studio art major with a concentration in sculpture and ceramics. And this was a project that I created in mind to evolve the idea of sculpting into the real world and applying my sculptural ability and trying to get an idea of how I can create a legacy, but also trying to get an understanding of where my contemporaries are coming from and get an idea of how we can create a narrative of forms while also understanding more on the idea of the temporary. This is an art piece that started off with the noun of ball and the verb of collide. And I wanted to try to take these two words and create an idea of how to create motion and narrative. In the journey of answering this question, I was trying to implement a passion project that I've been working on, and this is called Impermanence. And impermanence is the general idea of the temporary and the ephemeral, and how things in art can be made in such a way to evoke the idea of how something can be so temporary, yet provoke the idea that it is there captured in art. So this became a motivational object of me looking for a way to investigate my contemporaries, looking at what they've been making for the past century or so, looking back in art history, and really getting a handle of how modern forms have evolved, and then applying these ideas and concepts into my own work, and seeing what I can do in the materialization of these concepts, and provoking the general new modern idea of sculpture and art. In the creation of this, I began to notice some general themes being created in the work, and it really evolved from the totemic form structure of the forms that started to really start to show a general motion of forms that can be read with the viewer, but also trying to show more simplified range of concept where the viewer can take what they want from the view of the sculpture and see how, in the basis of collision, how they see and feel from it. They can simply follow the lines and the narrative of what is being shown and construe in a way that's more personal. That is a feeling that I wish for someone to feel in my work, that they kind of can just go out up to the sculpture and get a general idea of what I'm trying to say, but also towards what they want to say. And this really came from a sense of how, whenever I was creating the work, that whenever I was working, that whenever as an artist, you generally get this sense of scheme that I'm working away and this is my work, this is my creation, and this is what I want it to represent. However, in the um, theme of creation, I wanted to try to let the sculpture speak and see how it reacts with itself rather than what I want it to be. I had a concept and a prompt that I wanted to answer, but I wanted to let the sculpture answer it for itself. And this comes from some three general artists that I looked at. This was Tony Cragg, Henry Moore, and Alyson Shotz. These are three very contemporary artists, Alyson Shotz being the youngest and Henry Moore being the oldest of the three, who have been exploring with different curiosity in their work. Henry Moore into the general idea of, with the idea of how we can create more simplified forms, and then with Shotz, how we can change in these forms in the idea of modern thinking and change how we work today. This was something that I really felt like I explored in my work and really changed how I felt about my sculpture in the future and in the past. Thank you.